Hi, my name's Spencer Sheppard, and I'm bisexual. My story, it goes back a while. I was discovering who I am and all that. It goes back to when I was a kid back in elementary school. My friend and I were going through an experimental period, and one thing led to another, and we were discovering ourselves. Yeah, that was like the first sign I knew that I was different from the rest. I wasn't totally sure if I was normal or not because everyone had their, standards of being normal. But I grew up and he grew up and he turned out to be gay. So that was kind of funny when I talked to him a couple of years ago. It didn't really, occur to me when I was in middle school, but in high school, really started noticing some different changes about me. Like, oh, there were some guys who I thought were attractive. Like, oh, but there's girls too. It's like, well, I still like girls, so maybe, I could be bisexual. But I figured, maybe I was just transitioning to being gay. So I was looking up stuff online, getting to know myself, and then after high school is when I discovered who I was. I eventually concluded that yeah, I am attracted to both guys and girls, so I'm bisexual. A friend of mine and I were at a party. We talked to each other, and we found out that we both had feelings for guys. And a friend of mine caught us in the act, and he didn't think nothing of it, but my friend did, and he was so concerned about that he confronted my other friend and asked to keep it on the down low, telling him not to spread anything, forget that they saw it. And this friend didn't really think any of it because he thought it wasn't the sort of thing I would be doing. But eventually my friend did confront me, asking me questions like, did anything happen that night? I tell him no. Well, Josh said whatever, but it was this back and forth for the longest time, and then finally he asked me, are you gay? I go, no, I'm bisexual. Took him a minute to, have it sink in. He eventually calls me up, and we're talking it over. It's like, he's still not convinced, but we finally get to a point where he's like, okay, dude, I've been trying to tell you, I've been wanting to tell you this. I'm gay too. So my best friend of 10 years turns out to be gay too, and that just made our friendship so much stronger. Growing up, dating got me a little, I don't know, you had your problems with dating as a bisexual because straight people saw it as, oh, you like guys too, that means you're gonna either cheat on me with a guy or you're gay. So why would I date anyone like that? And on gay people, if I was dating a guy, he'd be like, oh, you're just not discovering that you're totally straight or gay yet. So it's like you didn't get any support from either side, and I started to feel like an outcast. But as I got into community college, there was a group called the Rainbow Alliance, and they welcomed me, and I found out that there were other bisexuals too that I can relate to, that I wasn't by myself. I was so happy that there were people other than these black and white people who had some standard of their sexuality, but these people made me feel happy. I familiarized myself with my being, and I found out that I'm Spencer, and I'm a human being, and my sexuality is just one aspect that describes myself, but for the most part, I'm happy. So yeah.
And have you come out to your parents yet?
I have come out to my parents. For one reason, my mom decided to come out and ask me if there was something wrong with me, something different about me, and she eventually asked me, are you gay? And I told her no, because I still like girls. I was bisexual. And she goes, oh, well, you know what? We still love you for who you are, and nothing will change about that. You're a son. Very open parents. My dad was a little iffy about it because He was all support for the LGBTQ community as long as it didn't happen to his son. So we talked it over. We were talking, getting to know each other, and he eventually came to terms with like, yes, you are my son, and I couldn't be any more proud. The reason my mom asked me is because one part of it was I didn't clear my internet history very well, and another part was that I guess there were some subtle clues that led up to that event. My aunt and her partner are in a relationship. They're a lesbian couple, and my mom asked them how would they approach me. How would she approach me? So she's asked them questions, and they said, ask him. It would have been a lot easier if their parents asked them and have them come out as, have them talk about it. So that's what she did, and she was right. If she didn't say anything, I probably would have said nothing or would have even brought it up for as long as I could, really. But she did, and I'm glad that she did because now she knows who I am, and the relationship is strong. They're all supportive, and I'm just one of the few that had the luckiest experiences ever. So.
Was it a difficult process for your father? Because you mentioned that.
My dad, yeah, at first it was like, oh, no, he's not. No, he's not my son. Anyone else's son, but not mine. It took about a couple months. We were quiet for the most part, but then I brought it up. It's like, Dad, you know what? I'm in college, and I'm sure you've seen me with a guy or two over at the house. And he said, yes, I've questioned it, but I've sort of put it in the back of my head. But the thought was there, so he did listen to me, and he realized that it's not a phase. It's not anything I could change about, but it was something that made me me, and he accepted that. So he eventually came to terms with it, and I couldn't have been happier.
And how did you end up feeling after you had come out and told everyone that was important to you?
Everyone, my grandma, she has Alzheimer's. So when I told her the first time, she totally forgot about it. She's like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? It's like, no, Grandma, I'm kind of seeing the guy. It's like, oh, is that nice? Oh, do you have a girlfriend? Yeah, what's her name? Derek. And it just stuck like that. But they were all open-minded. I've been around I have a good family. I couldn't be luckier. I know some people have horrible experiences, but my family knows that there's some things you can't change, and the people I've opened up to, they're all supportive. I got a little negative feedback, like, oh no, you're not. It's like, stop joking around, or it's like that's non-existent. Bisexuality doesn't exist. And I'm thinking, yes, it does, because I am attracted to both male and female, and I consider myself lucky.
And what is your advice to anyone who has a friend who's coming out or has a son or daughter that's coming out?
Coming out, I think there is a particular moment where you can tell them, when you're not really doing anything, or if you're ready to come out, if it's built up and you're really wanting to open up to your family and show them the real you, who you are, and that there's nothing that they can change about it. Just be yourself, come out at the right time, and I guarantee you'll be a lot happier knowing who you are.
Great, thanks.